What is going on, everybody? It is the Texas gentleman Tanner Pruitt here, along with my good friends Mags and Matt. We're going to be talking some football transfers. Indeed. Let's go. Welcome to the wide, wide world of sports. Yes, it is Radio Tekkers time. Yes, Radio Tekkers, episode 57? I think that's about right.
No clue.
Official episode 57, not Euro episode 57. I'm the Texas gentleman, Tanner Pruitt, and along with me here, my good friends, Mags and Matt. Mags, how are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm not doing too bad. It's cooled down with the weather, so I'm not a sweaty, gelatinous mess. Excited to talk some transfer news.
Awesome. And Matt, how are you doing today?
I've called you many things, Mags. A sweaty, gelatinous mess is not one of them. I'm doing good, thank you, Tanner. Unfortunately, it's been really cool down here on the east coast of England all day, and literally last half hour, the heat picked up, so I'm starting to perspire all of a sudden.
Ooh.
So I'm like, thanks for that. Right, as I'm about to go live on there.
Yeah. Well, I hope you turn up your AC.
We don't have it in this country. It's not a given.
You don't have central air? No AC?
No AC, no. AC is not a thing, Tanner.
Oh, goodness. Okay. Well, I will pray for you here as we get the show started. Chris BFC already kicking us off here in the chat. Hey up, kids. Is Matt trying to grow a beard out, or does he just need a shave? Oh.
I think that's just, it looks like it's just grubby.
To be fair, I haven't shaved for about a week or so. So I do need a shave, to be fair. But because I need to keep it short for work.
Okay.
Yeah. This is
cool.
fine, but more than that is I did grow a beard out properly once, but I was told by my boss, you fucking shave that beard before don't fucking come into work tomorrow. I'm like,
Is your boss Irish?
He's from Lincoln.
Or
He's
Sean
from
Dyche,
Lincoln.
perhaps.
From Lincoln.
I snorted. I don't know why. All right.
Yeah, it's all good. Well, Tanner again is good project, guys. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Radio Tekkers on Twitch and, of course, on YouTube. And, of course, listening on podcast. Join us for a live show. Pop in.
Yeah, do all the things. Just as Matt said. Matt's the boss.
It's meant to be a Lincolnshire accent. It wasn't good.
A Lincolnshire accent. Okay. Oh, all right. Fair enough. Let's get into it with our icebreaker of the week. Not that we need one, but here it is. We've got a couple here. One is actually from Chris BFC, who's in the chat. Thank you, Chris. He's asking, what is our favorite curry? Do you have a favorite curry? I'll kick it over to Matt first. Matt, since you're the chef.
To make, I can make any curry taste great. That's me being a bit of an ego, to be fair, but in terms, the weird thing is that up until January, I was very mild on my personal flavour of curry. I mean, I'd go to a tikka max, but I can go a bit more than that since I had COVID for some reason. My taste buds
a tikka at the maximum.
That's what it was until January, Max, because my taste buds just couldn't handle it. But since I've had COVID, I can take stronger spices, so I don't mind that. So it's good. It's increased my palate more. It's a good thing. So it's all good though for me. I'm getting there slowly but surely.
Oh, all right, fair enough. I'm not quite sure what that is. The kind of curry that you mentioned here, but
well, I go over a tikka. I'm more than a tikka now, so I'm catching up on a vindaloo.
I don't think Tanner knows what tikka is though. I think
that's what tikka masala.
No. Okay, gotcha.
Does that help?
Yeah, a little bit. It helps me. It helps me mildly, like
Okay.
Like the curry.
like
Pretty
a
much
tikka.
like-
Yeah.
Well, Mags, how about what is your favourite curry?
The hotter and spicier, the better for me.
Oh, Mags
my-
likes a sweat session with his curry.
Yeah. My favourite used to be Vindaloo until the chilies like Carolina Reaper and Ghost Pepper started becoming more widespread. So now I prefer a Ghost Pepper chili curry.
Fair enough. I like a Jalfrezi as well, to be fair. So.
Oh my god! Ooh, look at you pushing the spice boat out.
To be fair, Mags, at one point, korma and butter chicken were spicy options for me. Okay, trust me, from where I used to be. Give me a chance. I'm getting there slowly, like I say. Tanner, are you a curry man in Texas or not really?
I mean,
Was it goats for you?
You don't really find too many like curry places here in Texas. Like, there's Indian restaurants for sure, Pakistani restaurants for sure, but there's not too many like, like just straight up curry spots, right?
Especially in Texas, it's more likely to be like a Mexican. I would assume.
Exactly. Mexican food is far more dominant than Eastern foods. But when I do have a nice curry, it is usually I like to experiment. I'm not really quite sure what I like as far as the curry goes. There's sometimes where I'll have a tikka and it's good, and there's sometimes where I'll have a nice vindaloo. But other times I'll try it from elsewhere and it's just absolutely dreadful. So I don't know. I really don't have a favorite curry. I'm still experimenting. But if you have a suggestion as to what curry I should try next, please let me know in the comments. I would love to hear what your thoughts are on curry.
I think Chris has already given you an option, Tanner. He's suggesting maybe a lamb boona.
Ah, bluna. Lamb bluna. All right. Good. I'll have to try it. We also had a comment from our friend Connor, who has not joined us in the chat as of yet. Connor is actually asking, how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
42.
The answer to 42 is the answer to laugh and everything. So, yeah, I've got to go with 42 as well. It was the answer I was actually going to give.
Great minds.
I was gonna go 7. You can't go wrong with a solid 7. It is a multiple of 42. So
that is true.
Gonna go with 7. So we'll that answers the woodchuck question. But we've got
that's a great question. Well, I love little questions like that. Every week we all questions like that, introspective questions.
Absolutely. Let's get into some not breaking news. Breaking news. Not breaking news. Jadon Sancho to Manchester United is official. He shook hands with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He posed with the shirt. He put the shirt on. He did the thing. Yeah, Jadon Sancho to Manchester United is a done deal. Gentlemen, we talked about it a little bit last week about how Sancho and possibly Varane could transform Manchester United, but let's go into a little bit more detail here this week. What exactly does Jadon Sancho bring to Manchester United that they don't have already, Mags?
Okay, so he brings a player in that 25 position for a start.
Pardon me.
I'm just going off the announcement that his shirt number would be number 25.
Yes.
Which was the former Antonio Valencia's number. I think Agallo had it recently as well.
Yes.
But in terms of what he brings on the pitch, it's pace, skill, attacking prowess, chance creation, a killer instinct in the box. He brings a lot of things that, unfortunately, Man United have been lacking for large periods of the season.
Indeed. We do have someone new in the chat here, Carlos FF. Howdy, Carlos. Hope you're doing well.
Hello, Carlos.
We will be talking about CR7. I promise. I promise. He's going to get brought up here very soon. I can assure you that. We've got some CR7 news. Absolutely.
It's very exciting that you guys are already telling us what you want us to talk about. I'm loving this.
Yeah, and if you've got any stories that you want us to talk about, just drop them in the comments and
drop them down below.
Yep.
And then click that subscribe button at the same time while you're there.
Indeed. So Sancho brings a lot of pace. Is that right, Mags?
Yeah, pace, skill, attacking prowess, clinicalism in the box, chance creation. It's some options that Man United have been lacking with the poor form of Martial, with Rashford not being in the goals as much as he has been, with Man United really kind of struggling with in terms of goal scoring. I think he brings a lot of creative options.
Okay. So that's definitely a good start here for Jadon Sancho. I mean, Matt, the same kind of question, but also like how does he stack up with the Rashfords and the Greenwoods and the other wingers that they have over at Old Trafford?
Well, I
said Tratford.
Tratford. I've called it worse. To be fair, in times gone by. To be fair, Man United aren't exactly what's I'm looking for here. They're not lacking in attacking quality. It tends to be more supply to the attacking quality that you need. Sancho provides that link between midfield, attack, and scoring, of course, as Mag was saying. Is he better than everyone in that front line? I would say probably. Actually, yes. I mean, Mason Greenwood, he will be great. He needs more time. I think the fact they've given another 11 shirt put a lot of expectation on his young shoulders. Cavani is to get one more year out of him before he moves on, probably. Sancho is the long-term person to lead the line with Rashford, I imagine. Rashford may not through and through. He won't be going to any other club, I can't imagine, unless it's to a Real Madrid or a Barca. It's just more of a case of... Now, I mentioned to you guys this during the week. I think that the signing of... Jadon Sancho signals that Anthony Martial is out the door.
Ooh, okay. That's. I want to touch on that here just momentarily. Chris in the chat says Sancho definitely improves United, but it's no use playing Sancho with McFred behind him. Maybe, possibly. So along those same lines here, Martial out the door. We keep saying that it's a buyer's market, but there's not too many people buying. Who would snap up? Who would snap up a Anthony Martial? Who could
Max,
use?
Who do you think could use a Martial? I think a lot of Premier League teams would snap him up for sure.
Right now, Tottenham. I think it's likelihood that Tottenham are going to lose their talisman. It's been on the card since the end of the season, and City have told Gabriel Jesus he's probably staying. So I think that Martial would be a good fit for Tottenham. He's got the pace to work a good partnership with Son. It's just whether he rediscovers those goal-scoring boots, I suppose.
You see, I think the Spurs could be a good addition for him for sure. But what if Kane doesn't move on and Martial partners with Son and Kane at Spurs? That's a front line I'd be quite scared of.
Yeah, that would be that would be pretty intense as far as a front attacking line goes.
Another couple I'll throw at you is two more London clubs, Chelsea and Arsenal.
Arsenal was the first one that came to mind. Actually,
we've seen players switch between United and Arsenal more regularly than in recent times. In recent times, more than they did back in like the 90s and mid 2000s.
Almost more regularly than comfortable, if you remember the mid 2000s.
Yes, particularly with like Mkhitaryan and
RVP.
RVP, yes, and Welbeck, of course, who actually
Alexis Sanchez.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. There is. It seems to be more of a we used to be rival, but not really anymore sort of thing. Big Man United, of course. Hello, Simon in the chat.
Yes.
SCP words. Always good to hear from you, sir.
Yeah. Simon put on a wonderful episode of Chain Wrestling with Mags here the other day.
You did indeed, guys. You did indeed.
The president of the Victor Lindelof is amazing fan club.
Absolutely, absolutely. We'll get to him in a moment, no doubt.
I do like a good salted fish. Go on.
Martial, I think, especially with a lot of talk about Aubameyang, maybe leaving at some point this window. I mean, we've seen Smith Rowe get tied up this week, which I was extremely pleased about for Arsenal, because although
they need a vote of confidence from somebody.
Secretly, I would have quite liked him at Liverpool, but that's beside the point. I would have liked him. He's a good player.
Ooh.
But he would never come to. He's never going to live with Arsenal through and through.
Yeah,
the fact they've given the
DNA.
the fact he's got the number 10 shirt, says that Smith Rowe is going to be a first choice player for next season with Arteta.
Yeah,
and he's going to need.
If they don't build that squad around Smith Rowe and Saka, there's something sadly wrong at Arsenal.
I predict that the first game at the Emirates, Saka gets a standing ovation from the crowd.
Mm-hmm. Well,
because they want to get round him and give a lot of love to him, especially after the abuse he got recently.
They also picked up a new midfielder, almost a holding midfielder, Sambi Lakonga from Anderlecht in Belgium. So Arsenal looking good there. Somebody who's more direct as far as his passing and not necessarily plays the ball in a circular motion like how Arsenal was playing last season. Let's move on away. We talked about Arsenal during the Jadon Sancho segment. Not sure why, but we got there.
We were talking about where Martial was going because Sancho was coming in.
Let's see here. Simon in the chat says, "See, United are speaking with Varane, a new center back, because Lindelof is total ass."
I think it's more than just speaking. I think the deal is pretty much almost over the line.
We did say this last week that this would be a very positive signing for United, of course, and this massively weakens Madrid's backline.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
They've lost Sergio Ramos and Varane. Who's coming in got big shoes to fill.
And Perez has said there's no money for spending on transfers.
They've got some big shoes to fill in. Who are the academy boys coming in? They've got some big shoes to fill. But sometimes you get diamonds under pressure.
He was really banking on that Super League. Anyway, let's move on to something more negative. I'm full of it today. Let's move on to negative news here. Liverpool's contract situations. So it's widely reported from multiple sources here, including all the Liverpool ones rousing the Klopp and the Anfield rap and all the people over at the Liverpool Echo. Contracts are coming up in 2023 for some major players. Currently, Liverpool are working on a contract deal for Alisson Becker, which is well deserved. But Virgil van Dijk, Fabinho, Mo Salah, Sadio Mane, Roberto Firmino, and Jordan Henderson's contracts are all coming due in 2023, amongst other ones. Naby Keita and Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain are also on that list, but it is presumed possibly that this is a make-or-break season for those two gentlemen. As far as Jordan Henderson goes, there's a lot of suspicion that because he's valued by both PSG and Atletico Madrid right now, Liverpool might be about to lose their captain, a man who served the club for over 10 years. Matt, as the fellow Liverpool fan here on the dais, what do you make of this?
Questions have to be asked a little bit as to who decided to sign all those contracts in the first place all about at the same time.
I mean, that seems to me like it's just a a very unhappy accident.
Mm.
I don't think this is something that they intentionally planned for. A lot of these contracts were signed way before COVID was a thing, way before clubs had to tighten the belts. So maybe it was just an issue of getting those players in and giving them the contracts that they want. And this was never something that you could plan for. So
this is true.
It was always going to be a struggle. I dare say, if we didn't have this COVID issue, these contracts would have been rolled over and we wouldn't hear anything about it. But the clubs need to pull back in on those huge wages.
Yes, that seems to be the core factor, is that Liverpool have the second highest wage bill in the Premier League, and it's set to top £325 million this season because of bonuses and different perks that players have gotten, performance perks. I feel like it sends a really bad message if you let Jordan Henderson join. Not let, but if you force Jordan Henderson to join either Atletico Madrid or PSG for that matter. We've talked a lot about one or two of the front line leaving. Gentlemen, I mean, if you have to let people go, who are we letting go from Liverpool? Matt, I'll start with you.
Loris Karius.
Okay.
No, I mean,
that's a start.
That's a given. That's essentially a given one.
Joe Matip. Who is on a big wage, as I forget. We've got one of free, but he's on a big wage still.
Mm-hmm.
This is difficult because Jordan Henderson is an inspirational leader. He does lead with his heart and his passion, and I love that about Hendo.
The issue with him is not how much we as fans like him, or even how much Klopp appreciates him. It's there's a couple of stories that came out regarding this that shows maybe he's not as well thought of higher up within Liverpool as he is with the fans. A former football strategy and director of football, Damien Kamali, said he was actually fired from Liverpool because he pushed through the Henderson transfer, and Henry, the owner of Liverpool, said it was a huge waste of money. And then according to Tony Evans, who works for The Independent, he said that Henry wanted to sell Henderson on before Klopp was actually appointed as manager. So that would have been around 2015. So it's very likely, with him being 31 by the time his contract runs out, being 33 maybe, he's not going to get the kind of guarantees that he's looking for, especially with the club looking to tighten the purse strings. I think he's better off either getting a transfer or riding this out if he's looking to secure one last long-term deal.
Simon in the chat is asking, were all these contracts all started at roughly the same time? If so, the expiry all being at the same time would make sense with the 5-year max term, maybe. I don't know. I think that they were started at different times, but different contract lengths.
Yeah.
So Salah came in the year after Mane did. Firmino's been there for a while. Van Dijk came in January of, I can't remember the year. Maybe it was 2018, 2017. And then Alisson and Fabinho came in the year before the Champions League Champions League winning run that they had. So different times, but it seems like the contracts are all kind of coming to a head very soon, it seems. Carlos FF in the chat, he's still insisting that we talk about Cristiano Ronaldo. I appreciate it, Carlos. I promise we're going to talk about Ronaldo. He's coming up later in the show. We just got to get through this England news real quick, and we will be talking about Cristiano Ronaldo. I promise you it's going to happen. Kids Watch Anime says, Messi to United, Cristiano Ronaldo to United, Neymar to United, Kevin De Bruyne, Lewandowski, Jack Grealish, That's an interesting shout. Haaland and Mbappe to United. He wants everybody at United.
That's some spending.
Or kids watch anime.
That is one way to spend your way into bankruptcy. But I've got to admit that we want a hell of a roster. Of course, you do.
It's exciting to watch.
You do need some defenders in there, guys. You are aware, right?
Yeah.
You go all out. One goalkeeper, 10 attackers. And
I've tried that on FIFA. It doesn't work, Max.
Well, he does say, or she, kids watch anime says at the very end, all effing players to United. So I mean, I'm sure that does imply some defenders, at least some. I'm not sure. And Simon wants to add that he wants to send Lindelof back.
No, Lindelof at the back.
Just Lindelof at the back.
Just Lindelof at the back. Okay, that's terrifying.
That's brilliant, Si. Absolutely, sir.
As a sweeper keeper.
They still might make... They still might make third. Let's move on.
Before anyone goes any further with Liverpool, talk about Liverpool players. Genuinely talking about who I would sell.
Yes.
Break my heart to say it, but Salah.
Okay.
He's the most profitable asset we have at the club. Madrid want him. If Madrid want to go to bankruptcy and buy him, then who am I to stand in their way? And it would certainly make things a little bit easier on our wage bill for sure.
That would definitely get you your Mbappe money. Let's talk about.
I will say that Kids of Anime follows up saying, "Mediate everyone to United. What's the deal with United?"
They've always been the most popular club for the media for whatever reason, and I've never understood it either.
No, we don't understand it either, but we appreciate you getting involved.
It sells headlines and it sells papers. You attach a player to Man United and put sources say, people are going to buy that paper. They're going to click on that news report. It's,
absolutely.
Media 101.
Yeah, speaking of which, Max, I have clicked on the report, but I have some breaking news for you, Tanner.
Oh, breaking news? I'm down for some breaking news. Hit me,
I wasn't aware of this till just this morning, but I'm not sure if you know it yourself, Tanner. Of course, Solskjaer has signed a brand new contract at Old Trafford.
Till 2025, yes, correct.
2024, Mags, with option for a further year, yes.
Oh, apologies.
Apologies indeed. It's the first person to get a new contract at Old Trafford since Alex Ferguson.
That's...
that
is breaking of some kind.
If he gets the end of the new contract, he'll be the only person who have been charged longer than him will be Sir Matt Busby and Alex Ferguson.
Wow,
that is scary. That Old Trafford has had that revolving door managers throughout the entirety of their careers.
It's possible.
So the breaking news is Solskjaer. On the back of Jadon Sancho being signed up. Let's face it, did Mourinho ever get a sign in the quality of Sancho? Because Pogba was Van Gaal, wasn't it?
Yeah. No.
No, cause it was in the work before Mourinho arrived, I think.
I thought he was a Mourinho guy, but
I might be wrong on that one. No, it's not my expertise.
I'm not. Simon, if you're in the chat, still let us know. I'm sure you would remember more.
Let know why I'm wrong.
Simon has not answered yet. Kids watch anime. He is on. The Kids watch anime is on a roll. He says Arsenal is not fit to play in the Premier League. Throw them into the Scottish League. Rangers will bang them. Rangers over Arsenal. Yeah. Maybe. I don't even know if Arsenal's fit for the Scottish League because they got trounced over there.
They drew 2-2 in over, didn't they?
I think they did.
They have 2-2 friendly, so Rangers were just good.
But they also lost a friendly over in Scotland as well.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Anyway, Kids Watch Anime, thank you very much for getting involved, of course. Don't forget to subscribe to us on Twitch, of course.
Yeah, just subscribe. Please do.
Yes, we want to hear more of this sort of thing. It's great.
Yeah.
Sorry for interrupting you, Tanner.
I love the banter. And speaking of banter, Tottenham Hotspur is in the news. Tottenham have signed another goalkeeper.
But it seems to sign a lot of goalkeepers to be back up to Hugo Lloris.
Pierluigi Golini from Atalanta. This is a bit surprising. I don't know if this is because he's getting older, Mr. Hugo Lloris, or what the situation is, but they have signed a new goalkeeper in Golini. Thoughts on this one, gentlemen?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I mean, Golini's 26 years old, Italy international. I think he was dropped for the Euro 2020 squad, but he seems to be a pretty solid goalkeeper. Former youth player with Man United. Mm-hmm. I just don't understand what this move is about, because United still have, Spurs still have Lloris, they still have Joe Hart, so they're not exactly hurting for goalkeepers.
They've got Gazaniga as well, haven't they?
Is he still there? I believe so.
I think so, yeah. I mean, they brought him in, but he put him in on loan with an option to buy, and the option is for 15 million euros. He's only got one cap for Italy, but that's still one cap more than some goalkeepers have had for Italy. Basically, they got Donnarumma in goal, for heaven's sake. Yeah. So you got a cap for Italy as a goalkeeper. With him in goal, you're doing all right, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. This to me looks like maybe Joe Hart's on his way out, and he's going to be the backup for Lloris. Lloris, he kind of shown signs of slowing down, maybe, and not being as sturdy as he once was for Spurs last season. So perhaps it's just that cover that Nuno is looking for.
They should be signing new centre half, Mag, though, shouldn't they? Really?
Well,
because out of
it's a lot.
But it should be signing a new centre half, not a goalkeeper. Because out of it's off to Qatar.
I'm not saying that they won't sign. I'm not saying this is the end of Spurs' as signing.
No, I'm saying they're signing. I'm agreeing with you. They're signing in the wrong places. They're signing in the wrong places, so they've got plenty of cover in that position. They need to be replacing what's leaving. That's the worrying thing. I mean, there's talk about if Kane goes, then they would have someone come the opposite way from the team in blue from Manchester. So I just feel that he's a solid goalkeeper. He's the first choice goalkeeper from Atlanta as well. They're signing as well. So it makes no sense why Atlanta would let their best goalkeeper go on loan, unless he's fallen out with a backroom management, which is possible.
So because I do follow a lot of Serie A myself personally. I do love watching Serie A. So Atalanta did sign a goalkeeper themselves, who I would say is marginally better now than Golini. But Golini, you will be hard-pressed to find a goalkeeper with as much potential in Serie A as Golini. So he is good. This is going to certainly be a test for him, though, because the pace of the Premier League is certainly vastly different than the pace of Serie A at the moment. So, yes, a little bit interesting, but could be good for Spurs. I'm not 100% sure. Kids Watch Anime. Man, this is just so much fun. Thank you, Kids Watch Anime. We appreciate it. Kids Watch Anime says, I was about to banter about Spurs, but honestly, I can see them growing this year. Nice change of pace. I appreciate that. But then the immediate U-turn. Manchester United is a fraud club, didn't win any trophies under Ole, and signed 4-year extension. Bottled in the Champions League, bottled against mid-table, bang average Villarreal in the Europa League final. Yeah, indeed, they did do all of those things.
And Simon got you on, by the way, as well.
Yeah, Simon also answered our question earlier. Didn't Pogba arrive under Jose? Just only he hadn't been there long, I don't think. So in the works beforehand, possibly. I think that sounds right. Because it was this huge protracted transfer saga. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, well, okay. So just to make sure that I keep Carlos in the chat happy, he wants to talk about Cristiano Ronaldo. I'm going to shuffle the deck here a little bit here, and we'll venture into Europe just momentarily. PSG adding to their super team. Yes, wild rumors going around here that PSG want either or both of Paul Pogba or Cristiano Ronaldo. Mind explosions. So there's multiple sources indicating that Paul Pogba turned down a contract offer from Manchester United to possibly go to PSG. There's actually reports today that PSG fans are hanging out banners in protest against Paul Pogba coming to PSG. I'm not sure if that's a vocal minority or not. My feelers out in Ligue 1 land are very... they're not great.
They're like non-existent, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I don't have any. But I do see the reports. You can certainly read them. Paul Pogba possibly headed to PSG. Would be interesting. Other reports going around here, and this is from the International Business Times, amongst other sources, are they're indicating that Cristiano Ronaldo may be headed to PSG as part of a swap deal.
Yes.
For Mauro Icardi.
Very interesting. Juve are looking to offload his very high wages. He's pretty much close to $1 million a week in terms of wages. So Juve are looking to lower that bill. Bringing in Icardi for a swap for Ronaldo will be a good deal for them. And it would just add to that scarily strong PSG team.
But you bring Ronaldo in, which, I mean, let's face it, PSG can afford to. Let's face it, they've got money coming out of every single orifice.
They seem to be the only club buying right now.
Yes, buying a lot of free players. That we mentioned that, of course, that they've bought a lot of free players. But at the same time, Ronaldo is not going to be a free. Because even if you don't pay a fee for him, they'll be paying out more money than they're paying for Icardi for short wages.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
And when you look at that PSG team, I mean, it's scary in places for sure.
In places, in every single way, it's scary. This team, if they don't win everything that they're available to win, will be a massive disappointment.
I'm saying there may be some areas that are weaker than others, and by weaker I mean still very strong.
The strongest in Europe.
For example, off the top of my head, I don't know who their left back is. For example, who is it, mate?
Who's PSG's left back?
Yeah.
Oh God, I'm trying to remember who it is.
It's not. They
have a few.
Kurzawa's
one of them, and then they
he's
have
not the best left back. He's not the best left back in the world. To be fair,
Bernat is another one.
They're both of them are extremely very good left backs for sure. Not the best in the world, but very very talented still. So I'm saying, you look at them, and that's arguably their weak link. And then you look at their front line, which if they get Ronaldo, will be Ronaldo, Neymar, Mbappe, and that's
Ronaldo,
Mbappe.
No room for Di Maria.
Fill in the blank.
I was naming three off the top of my head because I'm saying they are not short of quality in the front line department, and unfortunately, you can't play them all at once unless you're going to start playing an Ozzy Ardiles formation.
Could you not play Ronaldo, Neymar, and Mbappe?
And Di Maria?
Yeah, absolutely. You just change the formation.
So what formation?
Well, then who do you drop?
What formation? Yeah, who do you drop, Tanner? Because that's the problem. You've got to keep all these egos happy.
So I would play a 4-2-3-1 with Ronaldo up top, Neymar right behind him, Mbappe to the left, and Di Maria on the right, with a double pivot of Gay and Wijnaldum. There you go.
So no room for Herrera or Rafinha,
No.
or
Get
Pereira,
lost. Get lost.
or Paredes,
Go find a new club.
Draxler can't get a game.
Get out of here.
Yes.
Yeah, kids watch anime in the chat says Di Maria, Ronaldo, and Neymar, Mbappe overrated fraud on the bench. Wow. I think Matt has officially found his new favorite person.
I'm gonna find you on Twitch afterwards. I'm gonna follow you, my friend.
There you go.
That's the sort of reaction I want for sure. He also has a rather scathing comment on Mario Icardi as well.
Mm-hmm.
He uses apparently, at least Ronaldo will get goals.
To be fair,
that's kind of what I'm aiming at here, is that this really suits PSG, Juventus, Icardi, and Ronaldo. Ronaldo's run at Juventus has been lackluster, to say the least.
Less than stellar.
It's not been the dream move that he initially wanted, I don't think. And then, in addition to that, I think that Icardi is probably more well equipped, one could argue, in competing for spots in the Juventus team than he would be at the PSG club, with all the players that are involved there. Ronaldo, I think he can stand his own with a club like PSG. I think that this is a move that actually suits all parties involved. To be honest, much better than the potential Paul Pogba move to PSG. So does Cristiano Ronaldo stay or leave, as Carlos asked earlier in the chat? I think that it would be wise for them to sort out this deal. I think it would be wise for all of them to find a way to make this one work.
I think you're right. I think you're right in this one. I think it's in Icardi's best interest as well, because for sure he's going to be running out of chances, I feel, because he isn't first choice when Neymar, Mbappe, and Di Maria are all fit, and Draxler, and name who you want. Let's face it, Icardi is not your first choice.
Yeah,
but he would be at Juventus.
The people that you see starting for PSG week in, week out right now, they could easily still be on the bench or within around the team and still be quality, still be happy with their roles. But I mean, how could you not be excited?
If you're
as a player, how could you not be excited to see all these other people be added onto the roster?
If you were a fan, yes, absolutely. But let's face it, if you're signing for Paris Saint-Germain, then you're signing because you want to be playing week in, week out in a Farmers League, winning every single trophy that's available to you. And Farmers League comment aside, I'm right, Max, aren't I, though? They're signing because they want to be first name on the team sheet in that team of superstars.
They want to win the Champions League, I think.
It's that. It's winning the French League or the Coupe de France is not what they're aiming for. What they're aiming for is to win the Champions League. And you see Paris building this super squad, and you want to be a part of it. It's as simple as that.
There we go. So, Carlos, I hope that this makes you very happy that we've gone very in depth and detail and had this debate about Ronaldo. Yes, I think we're all on the same page here. Kids Watch Anime says, I want Juventus to sell Ronaldo, have Murata and Kulishevsky, there you go, as main strikers. Murata was good for Juve.
It makes sense.
He was.
It really was, yeah.
Juve has a financial problem. That's why I said they want to get rid of Ronaldo. Yeah, I would agree with that. And then Simon's joined us here in the chat once again. Simon's asking, hasn't Ronaldo scored nearly a goal per game at Juve, or not far off? I don't think you could ask much more of your center forward, really. No, I mean, I would have to go back and check the stats on it. You could very well be right on that one. I think the issue here is that he's having to put in a lot more work than he had to at Real Madrid to make things happen.
And he's no closer to a Champions League trophy than he was at Real Madrid. That's the issue. It's not that he hasn't personally had success. He's single-handedly won trophies for Juventus. It's that he hasn't got any closer to that Champions League. He hasn't got any closer to becoming the Ballon d'Or winner again. I think that's where he'll be kind of look down on his time at Juve as maybe a bit of a flop.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's move back in closer to English shores here, just for a moment. We've been talking about how PSG's been signing players this week and last week, and how PSG's got all these rumors going around. They certainly aren't short of cash, but neither really is Chelsea or Manchester City. But you don't see them making the same moves that PSG is doing. In fact, to my knowledge here, I don't think either Manchester City or Chelsea have signed anybody this summer so far. To do my terrible Seinfeld impression, what's the deal with that?
Well, so many people have been linking Man City with every player and their husband and wife and their children. To be fair, I don't see them being quite much longer. Depending on which dirt sheet you read, they've signed Jack Grealish, they've signed Harry Kane, they've signed Morata, they've signed Mavis the Tea Lady from Real Madrid, they've signed everybody in. I listened back last week; it was fantastic. The Mavis the Tea Lady. They've signed everybody according to which dirt sheet you read. I do know that according to Manchester Evening News, Man City have said that the £160 million bid by the Sun is nonsense.
But they are going to say that until
of course, which means it's not 160 million. It's considerably less. I would be less than surprised to see. In fact, I guarantee that we won't see Harry Kane in a Man City shirt in the Man City Tottenham game at the first game of the season.
So that's actually really interesting because I've read articles stating that, and this is contradictory to other sources, but that Manchester City need to sell in order to buy this summer.
Okay, so the article that I read from footballdaily.com was that Bernardo Silva may be the make weight to bring in the transfers of Grealish and potentially the transfers of Kane.
I saw that as well, Mag, and I think that would be the sign that Man City should make. But I've also seen other names thrown into the mix, including Gabriel Jesus and Raheem Sterling as well, being put in that, being thrown around. I'm not entirely sure that I agree with the Sterling one so much.
Yeah, I mean,
the European charities he had.
Jesus certainly had a very poor season. And while Sterling didn't live up to the hearts of seasons previous, he had an amazing tournament for England, and I think his stock has definitely rose in terms of the board at City. Jesus, I think, would be the person that they need to replace. They've no real out-and-out striker in the club outside of Jesus, so bringing in a goal poacher along the lines of Aguero would make absolute sense, and that's why I think there's more credence in the Kane move than perhaps the Grealish one. Grealish would be an amazing player to have, but they've already got players in that position that are already amazing. So for me, I think the City should be focusing on getting an out-and-out box predator in.
Well, they did lose Aguero, and that's a big loss for Manchester City.
Aguero, who is essentially not with a club because he can't be registered.
I would like to. Yeah, that's a great point because he signed for Barca, but he can't play for him at the moment.
That's insane.
But also, you've also got to remember that while Aguero leaving City is a loss, it's not a big loss as we would have had, to be fair, because he didn't play a lot last year.
He didn't really play a lot last year, no.
He's not as big a loss as when he was at the height of his goal-scoring powers.
Perhaps. I think that it's more or less a presence in the locker room.
Yes.
Aguero being filled with so many iconic moments. Yeah, it's hard to replace somebody like that. Kids Watch Anime in the chat says Bernardo Silva and Dembele swap would be great for Barca and Manchester City. You know what? I agree because it's
that's a tasty swap.
Would it be good for City though? Because Dembele is very injury prone.
No, follow me on this one, Mags. City get a very injury prone winger. All right, that means that they're going to be absolute trash up front. And then Barcelona get to add.
I'm seeing his line of thought.
Yeah,
yes.
Barcelona get more in debt, and I don't have to see Bernardo Silva's face ever again because I don't have to watch La Liga.
Mags, do you remember that scene in Fantasia, the Disney musical, where you got the brooms, bum bum, ba-da-ba-dum, ba-dum. That was what I had in my head when he was saying, "Mags, follow me here." I was like, that's just terrifying and scary talent, to be brutally honest. I think that I've got a lot of time with Dembele, but Barca signed them when they couldn't get Coutinho, and then they got Coutinho anyway. Who still got offload fully. He's not actually sold, has he? To Bayern. He was only on loan to him, wasn't he?
He was just loaned to Bayern from Barcelona. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's still on Barca's books. So we've got to get his wages at some point as well. If we don't play him, we'll get rid of him.
In fact, I think he scored once or twice against Barcelona in the Champions League semis or quarterfinals rather. That Bayern went on to win just 2 years ago?
During the COVID altered, yes.
Yes, the bubble Champions League. Mm-hmm.
The bubble Champions League, yeah. It sort of worked.
Kids Watch Anime. He's defending Dembele. And Dembele is injury prone because Barcelona medical team is a bunch of plumbers. Perhaps so.
It's the me.
We all have to get a part-time job sometimes. That's okay. Sometimes
Barca do to pay the wages.
But Chelsea's an interesting one as well. They just won the Champions League, though they invested a ton of money last season into the squad, a record amount of money, and an unheard of amount of money into transfers. Is this just them recouping from last year's spending exploits?
Yeah, I mean, you can't keep that kind of spending up year on year and not fall foul of financial fair play. So it's not surprising to me that Chelsea are quiet in terms of bringing people in. I think, to be fair, they need to maybe let some people leave. They've got a lot of players on their books who are on high wages and not going to be of any benefit for the team in the coming up season. I mean, Kepa for one, he's on a huge wage, and he's I'm as close to getting the goal for Chelsea as Kepa is. But the interesting story coming out over the last few days is I mean, I'll do it for half his wage as well. Absolutely not a problem.
Yeah, I mean, that would make anybody's life right. I mean,
he's on over £200,000 a week, and then you're looking at the number one goalkeeper they've got, Edouard Mendy, who's on 50k a week. So it's a huge amount of money to be throwing at somebody to be sat there. But the interesting story that's come out this week over Chelsea is with, in terms of people leaving, the fact that Tammy Abraham may be joining Arsenal on loan. There's also talk that Tottenham and West Ham are interested in him, but the big one is Timo Werner. Apparently, he may be eyeing a move to Bayern Munich in a sensational swap deal for the Polish goal-scoring machine, Robert Lewandowski.
Indeed. I may have mentioned about Werner going last week, and you both laughed in my face. Although I didn't think Lewandowski would be coming the other way, to be fair. That would be quite the signing for them for sure.
Yeah, I mean, Bayern have had a history of letting older players go, even when they're at their essentially their peak. So for them to be interested in Timo Werner, who's not had the best of seasons at Chelsea after he was so kind of dominant for Leipzig, it would not surprise me if they brought in Timo Werner and replaced him with Lewandowski.
So here's I haven't heard about this. Kids Watch Anime's asking about Martin Braithwaite to West Ham. I haven't heard of it.
I heard about Wolves being offered him apparently, but Barcelona have his agent has also said that he's not going anywhere. He's staying at Barcelona. Depends which dirt sheet again you're reading. But Wolves are in the market, of course, because obviously got that new manager in charge, Bruno, of course, and we'll see what he can do with that Wolves team. It's been suggested that the Portuguese super agent, of course, Mendes is going to be after as many players who from Portugal as possible. So it seems like it's not a Nuno thing; it is the Wolves thing now.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna hit this.
I hadn't heard about going to West Ham, though. No.
I'm gonna hit this button one more time just because I find this to be funny. Breaking news, Manchester United went 1-0 up against QPR and then got hit with 4 unanswered goals to lose to QPR 4-2. The lineup was not super duper strong, I must admit, from Manchester United, but yeah, that's that one's for the books today, folks. QPR.
How weak was the team, Tanner?
It's pretty weak. Mason Greenwood led the line with Jesse Lingard, and then you had James. Andres Pereira was in there. Let me see here. Madic was in there. Wan-Bissaka was there. But everybody else seemed to be from the youth academy with the exception of Juan Mata. So, yes, a weak, very weak United side.
I just pulled it up, Matt. Pulled it up, Tanner. And Tom Heaton in goal.
What's wrong with Tom Heaton?
There ain't nothing wrong with Tom Heaton. I'm saying. Tom Heaton in goal, Wan-Bissaka, Tsunabe, Mengi, Williams, Pereira, Matic, Pelistri, Lingard, James and Greenwood. That's the first team. Not the first choice first team, but all 13 players.
I mean, I love reveling in the hilarity of watching these big clubs get absolutely decimated by lower leagues, but you can't put a lot of stock into pre-season games.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You're absolutely right. They did make a lot of. They did change 10 players during the game as well.
Yes.
But even so, it is always nice for the smaller clubs to get a result like that for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's not to say that United were dreadful. I mean, they certainly hit QPR very early on within the first 3 minutes of the game, so they did have the quality. Kids Watch Anime says Arsenal or Manchester United lost to Hibernian and QPR. Ha 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 ha. Yes, I agree. But yeah, no. Lessons learned for the United youngsters, it seems. Let's finish out today's news here. Actually, breaking from today, Borussia Dortmund signed Daniel Malen. About 30 million euros is the that's the number that I've seen floating around. It looks like it was confirmed by Fabrizio Romano. This definitely is one less target that Liverpool can go for, but certainly a signing that Dortmund can make some use out of, especially with their growing crop of highly coveted young talent.
Yeah, and it's a ready-made replacement for Sancho. He'll certainly be able to add back to that attacking midfield lineup. I mean, when you have got the likes of Reina and Bellingham, and now Marlon. That's still a very, very, very strong lineup, and perhaps they won't miss Sancho as much as they would have done if they didn't get this signing. And it's cool that they've kind of snuck in and beat Liverpool to the punch. I think Klopp said he was tracking Marlon for quite a while. So for Dortmund to kind of swoop in and pick him up is it's a big move.
Yep. I would agree.
It's annoyed me a little bit, but yeah, good sign for Dortmund. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And I would agree. It's a great signing for Dortmund. Simon in the chat. Let me see here. Preseason results, especially this early, are pretty irrelevant. I think United have a history of losing or struggling to much smaller sides this time of year. Yeah. I mean, Simon, of course, defending Manchester United here, and rightfully so. Again, this is preseason. Everybody's kind of warming up. You're normally fielding squads to give some of the youth talent a chance, or younger talents, or peripheral squad members a chance. We'll see what United does from here. There was certainly not a star-studded lineup like you would normally see Manchester United putting out on a week-in, week-out basis. Kids Watch Anime says Dortmund is a business club, not a football club. Well, maybe. I have seen them play football before, though, and they are quite good at it.
But to be fair, since they had to borrow the money from Bayern Munich for wages, they have transformed into one of the best selling clubs in Europe in terms of profitability. I mean, take the Sancho transfer, for instance. They paid, 7 million for him. And then a couple of seasons later, they're selling him on for 10 times that. So they're absolutely experts at buying low and selling high. So the fact that they've actually spent 30 million on a player is more of a shock than actually usurping Liverpool for him.
I would agree for sure. It's frustrating that we didn't get him, but at the same time, I think that Dortmund needed more than Liverpool do.
Perhaps so.
I think they either think, okay, Dortmund need him now. Sancho's gone, whereas Liverpool, he would be a great addition to the side. But
and Dortmund are cash rich after the Sancho transfer.
I don't know how much. Was it about 30 million they got him for?
Yeah, 30 million.
No, they're 40 million up. That's not bad.
Indeed. Let's end today with a venture back to Madrid. We talked about Sergio Ramos and possibly Rafael Varane leaving, but they have brought in somebody. David Alaba from Bayern Munich left on a free transfer to Real Madrid. I suspect that he will be starting possibly in the center back position.
On his own, just by himself.
I presume. Does this solve some problems for Real Madrid?
In my opinion, they've upgraded from Ramos by getting Alaba in. In my personal opinion.
I mean, that's a spicy take.
I want to know more about what you think here. This is
Sergio Ramos should be in jail.
Oh, okay. So you're just talking about on a personal level.
Sergio Ramos should be in jail because he committed ABH on a football pitch and didn't get a yellow card for it.
Oh, good lord.
I've got a feeling it's going to be my Matt attack this week all of a sudden, guys.
So yes, Matt debuting the Matt attack. Here we go.
Sergio Ramos should be in prison for what he did in Champions League final. Yes, I'm holding it over his head for what he did all those years ago.
Okay, here's the deal. Okay, you can say everything that you're saying right now. Okay, that's perfectly fine. But I had to put up with a season-long struggle with you talking to me about how I shouldn't be bitter about Jordan Pickford. So I don't want to hear any more about that here anymore going forward from today.
I will rebuttal by saying Van Dijk forgave Pickford. Salah has not forgiven Ramos.
Well, you don't know that.
Yeah, Van Dijk came out and said he forgives him for it.
No, I understand that, but you don't know if Salah has forgiven.
We know, trust me, we know. Everything on Twitter now is fine. Anyway, my point is that Sergio Ramos he's not as good as one thinks he is. He plays for Real Madrid for that long. He's going to be a staff, in fairness. He just hasn't got sent off. He gets sent off all the time. That's what he's known for. I think Simon had a point there. Maybe Lindelof would go and partner David Alaba at centre half. I think I've got a point here. Alaba is better than Ramos.
I will say that Alaba brings a different skill set than Ramos for sure. I think
not getting sent off, for example.
His reading of the game is definitely
better.
Different. I would say they've got a lot of experience. Both of them do. Ramos certainly, I would say, might be a better tactician, maybe a better practitioner of the dark arts of football, perhaps. But Alaba, he does bring a lot of good qualities, and in fact, his free kicks are stunning. So yeah, I think you bring in a dead ball specialist like David Alaba, and I don't know, maybe it brings back some Roberto Carlos vibes. I don't know. I'm not saying that he's as good as Roberto.
You're agreeing with me, Tanner.
I'm not saying that he's as good as Roberto Carlos. I'm just saying that he's very good on a dead ball.
Tanner, I have to stop you, Roberto Carlos, for one moment there. He had one good free kick. Every other one was it high, wide, and not at all handsome. He had one really good free kick.
I mean, he's had a lot of very good free kicks, and I was just talking about how good of a player he was.
He was a good left back. No argument about that. But one of the best free kick takers. Nah.
All right.
He was the team of very good free kick takers. Let's not forget that. But everyone he took, apart from one where he hit the outside of his left foot, which went and curled in the top corner. Apart from that, I can't think of a lot which stand out like that one did.
Mm-hmm.
Like John Arisa, he hit one free kick really hard once for Liverpool, and that's all I ever remember him for. That he can hit a ball on the volley really hard. He scored 20 plus goals for Liverpool. God knows how.
Is that the free kick that broke Alan Smith's leg?
No.
Because that happened.
That did happen. That did actually happen in a League Cup match, no less.
Anywho.
Anyway, I'm going to die on this hill probably again. So this is who I've attacked this week. Sergio Ramos for not being in prison. Yes.
Wow. I mean, from my point of view, I think Alaba is... he may be a bit of a downgrade on Ramos and Varane, but what he does bring is a versatility. He can play on the left. He can play up further up the pitch. He's very, very solid as a centre back. Maybe not as they're losing quite a bit of heart on Varane and still a couple of inches on Ramos, but he brings youth. The fact is he's 6 years younger than Ramos, and he's also a lot pacier than Ramos.
Indeed.
And he's much more of a calm, kind of a cultured defender than Ramos is.
All right, then.
I feel like maybe he's more agreeing than disagreeing with me, so I'll take that.
Well, I mean, the fact is Ramos made his own bed with wanting a huge transfer, a huge wage bill, and a 3-year deal. Real Madrid were just not going to entertain that whatsoever. Paris have. Fair play to Paris. Real Madrid have probably got the better out of the deal in terms of getting that huge salary off his books. I mean, what's he on? £15 million pounds a year at Paris. That's that's a hefty amount of change to be giving a 35-year-old defender.
Yeah, for sure. Should we mop up some of the last few little bit of transfer news we've had today, guys, or not really? Harry Wilson has all but completed his move to Fulham for about 12 million, the same amount that Burnley offered last year and weren't given and didn't get a transfer. I personally feel that should have gone through for you last year, personally, Max.
Well, it happens.
It does, unfortunately. Unfortunately, it does. And Arsenal have agreed terms with Tammy Abraham, so that seemed a done deal. And James Maddison today has also said that he'd be quite happy to go to Arsenal.
Yeah, and also let's not forget they're looking at maybe signing Aaron Ramsdale as well.
They made a third bid for him. Yes,
32 million. That's interesting for a goalkeeper who's had back-to-back relegations. Whilst he's got potential to be a great goalkeeper, is he 32 million pounds worth? Is he better than Bernd Leno? I wouldn't suggest that.
Here's the problem. You just sold Emi Martinez to Aston Villa for 20 million, and now you're buying Aaron Ramsdale, a goalkeeper who's good. He's a good goalkeeper, but you're buying Aaron Ramsdale from a side that just got relegated for 10 million pounds more than what you sold Emi Martinez for, who's arguably a much better goalkeeper than Aaron Ramsdale. So I don't like it. There's also the rumor going around, just some quick rumors, just to continue on. Jared Bowen, possibly rumored linked to Liverpool from West Ham. I don't get this one personally. It doesn't. It seems like a move that Liverpool might.
He'd be a good signing for sure, but I'm not sure where he'd fit in the mix.
He would be a good signing in the way that we play this Moneyball sort of way here. I don't think that he brings nearly the pace that any of the other signings that we have or other players that we have offer. He is more of a poacher, it seems, more of a wide player in a lot of regards. But he doesn't come across as a Klopp sort of signing. He definitely comes across more of an FSG sort of signing.
And he has a long-term contract at West Ham. I think it runs till 2025. So they're going to want a huge amount of money to part with him. The fact that they're in Europe as well means that they have no real reason to be selling. I can't see that move happening, and I don't think he improves over what Liverpool have now, unless the issue is to kind of cover for some of these potential transfers out that may be happening with Liverpool.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty, I think that covers it just about for this week here. We'll return next week for some more transfer news, we will hopefully get some more preseason shows going, maybe even bring on a special guest or two to help us with maybe some predictions, this has been fun. Matt, where can people find more of your content here on the internet?
Well, people can find more of my content. They can find me here on Tekkers every Saturday. They can also find me every day, it feels like sometimes, over on Vision Global Media. You can find me on Good Cop, Bad Cop every Sunday. You can find me on Game Junkies every other Saturday. And you can find me on Dungeons and Junkies, which is every Monday and Friday, where we play Dungeons and Dragons. And it's a good listen, Mags, I tell you.
There you go. Mags?
It's a good listen. Yeah.
There you go. If Mags endorses it, it's always a good thing.
A good deal. Well, if you want more of the content that Matt's putting out, definitely give him a follow. Definitely check him out because he's always
at the Matt at UK.
Yeah,
at Matt at UK.
Then. At the Matatech UK on Twitter. He's always doing something.
Especially if you want to rant at me for slating Sergio Ramos. Bite me.
It's a very diverse collection of content, for sure. Mags, you're the only one here on this panel who could probably match Matt for that title.
That's rude. That is very rude. I would never even attempt to keep up with Matt in terms of content. But if you do want to hear more from me, you can first follow me on Twitter at PodfatherMags. I do plenty of content here for Radio Tekkers. Not only this show, but I also have 5 rounds where we cover UFC, and I do chain wrestling with my good buddy Sarah Powell, where we look back at some classic wrestling and kind of link each match down the chain, very, very tenuously. And if that's still not enough mags for you, I also have a podcast called A Change in Attitude, which I have with Tanner here and our good friend and carrier Aura, where we are going through the Attitude Era of WWF week to week and giving it a 2021 view. So, yeah, come and follow me on Twitter and get involved.
Yes, hang out with Matt and Mags wherever their content is available. Both are fantastic. It's a blessing and a privilege to be able to record with them as often as I do. We did have a question here. Kids Watch Anime, who's been a star in the chat
Absolutely.
today.
MVP.
Yes, thank you, of course, for joining us this week, and thank you to anybody and everybody who's watching this. We do appreciate you guys for tuning in. Kids Watch Anime is asking, will you be streaming daily? So in short, no. But I will tell you this: if you follow us right down there, follow us at Radio Tekkers. It's streaming right across the bottom of your page. You will know anytime and every time we have some content available. No matter if it's here for Radio Tekkers speaking on football, if it's 5 rounds with what Mags is doing. Which is a UFC and MMA coverage. Matt's got a couple of things in the can, it seems, that might be coming out very soon. That's very exciting. And I do as well. So definitely check it out already. Follow us on Twitter if you can. And then obviously subscribe. We would greatly appreciate that as well. Wherever you do your streaming, whether it be Twitch or YouTube. For that matter. You can find all of my content here on Radio Tekkers, or you can simply follow me at TexasGentleman_, where that's where I also tweet about my content, whether it be Radio Tekkers, whether it be a change in attitude, whether it be my other wrestling show Headlock Talk, where that I'm concluding here very soon. You can check out the finale, the episode 1 of my finale series. Dropped yesterday, and it's all about the Hulk Hogan Gawker Media court case. I think you'll find it to be very interesting at the very least. So for Mags and for Matt, I am Tanner, aka the Texas Gentleman. Y'all take care out there. Be safe. Know that we love you, and have yourself a great rest of your weekend.
We're out of here.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.